inside channel. A little awkward bit of contact between Lamine Yamal, who concedes the free kick, and it will be for France midway through the Spanish half. Not much in it there. Theo Hernandez just making the most of it. It's from Mbappe to Rabiot. They got underway with it quickly, France. Mbappe tries to steer it back to Rabiot, but it's behind him, and Morata tries to break away for Spain. Ball bobbles wide to the left-hand side. Here's Nico Williams as Koundé twisting left and then right, trying to keep his eyes fixed on the ball, but there's N'Golo Kante to just slide in, get a toe to the ball. France win it back, but the early ball on the right-hand side has been easily defended by Cucurella, and it's forward in the direction of Nico Williams, who's fighting with Koundé for possession. Clears it to the halfway line, and that's just touched forward by Aymeric Laporte, and here he is again on the halfway line for Spain. Tight down the left-hand side for Williams, and shuffle back to Cucurella, who will find Aymeric Laporte. Into the centre circle for Nacho. Nacho carries it over the halfway line, bustling his way past Kolo Muani, tries to get back at him. It's Rodri in the centre circle now for Spain, and to his left for Cucurella. Spain just finding their feet early. So they stroke it around on the halfway line between the two centre halves. It's Nacho back to Laporte, who slips it between the lines for Dani Olmo. Tries to ride the challenge of Tchouaméni, does really well to do so. Williams to the left for Cucurella. Ruiz just tried to slip it between three French players to find Dani Olmo. Came off Tchouaméni. Here's the outside of the boot cross from Williams towards the back post. It'll be collected here on the edge of the penalty area by Yamal. Left-footed ball towards the back post. It's a glorious chance from Fabian Ruiz, who's put his header over the bar. Totally unmarked, that PSG midfielder. The moment Yamal put it onto his left boot and just lifted it deep towards that back stick, Ruiz just rose between Koundé and Upamecano. He's got to be testing Maignan from there. He's all of 4 yards out. France look a little bit shaky early on here, as they have for a lot of the tournament. Tchouaméni down the left-hand side for Theo Hernandez, trying to fly forward. Here's Mbappe against Lamine Yamal, who will get a toe to the ball and force Mbappe back to the halfway line. Here's Tchouaméni, left-hand side of the centre circle. To his right for Jules Koundé, back in field to Upamecano. Now Tchouaméni. Upamecano, the Bayern Munich centre-half, will know these parts very well. Maybe not so much this season. Koundé inside, finds Dembele, tries to feed it back to the fullback, but that's easily intercepted by Marc Cucurella. Rodri carries it forward for Spain, who was closed down by two French players, but still got the ball out to the left for Cucurella. Now Williams forward into Dani Olmo, tries to put it around the corner of Upamecano, where Morata was trying to run onto the pass. It's back to the goalkeeper, who clips it up towards the halfway line. Flicked down well. It slipped into Mbappe. Across comes Jesus Navas. Sniffed out the danger early. Doesn't quite have the same turn of pace that he used to be known for, but at almost 39 years old, he's got a wealth of experience and knew exactly what was going to happen there. Kolo Muani tried to slip him through. Corner kick will be Spain's from the right-hand side. It'll be a throw it, in fact, as Jules Koundé tosses this in. Kante tries to slip it forward. That's easily cleared by Cucurella. Up towards the halfway line, taken down by William Saliba, still in Spanish territory. Theo Hernandez under pressure from Yamal will find the retreating Rabiot. Wanders into the centre circle. Saliba to his left for Theo Hernandez. Now down the left-hand side for Kylian Mbappe. Here's Hernandez again. Upamecano watching on a Tchouaméni, slips it to his left to find Saliba. Now forward. It's a bit of centre floor play from Randal Kolo Muani. Came short to collect the ball and just waited for the challenge from Nacho, which is a bit clumsy for the Real Madrid centre half. A little bit of afters as well from Nacho, maybe, that it's not going to be pulled up by the referee, but something to keep an eye on as that battle continues. Slipped inside from Rabiot. It's Dembele. Flicked out to the left-hand side for Mbappe. Handball, says Navas. Mbappe tiptoes his way into the penalty area towards the back stick. And it's Kolo Muani who plants it past Unai Simon. Almost a carbon copy of the first chance that Spain had created. The difference here is France have applied the finishing touch. There was an appeal from Jesus Navas, forehand ball as Mbappe took it down. He's just floated one towards the back post, and from 6 yards out, Kolo Muani is unchallenged and gives France the lead. We'll have a look at the replay for you. Navas plays Mbappe onside. It's a lovely ball from Dembele to spin it out to him. No problem with offside. It's a deliciously inviting ball from the France captain. And Kolo Muani could barely miss. That's more like the France we were expecting to see. And they've got a goal from open play for the first time in the tournament, discounting Jan Vertonghen's own goal. And a smile from Kylian Mbappe as confirmation from Slavko Vincic. The VAR has confirmed the goal will stand, and Spain kick off. A goal down with 9 minutes on the clock. Nacho to his left. Here's Aymeric Laporte. Nacho here again to his left. Not the first time Spain have been behind so far in the tournament. It was Robin Lenormand's goal against Georgia, in the own goal against Georgia in the round of 16. That saw the first eyebrows raised after Spain marched their way through the group stage, but they marched their way through that game in the end. Special goal from Nico Williams in the process as they won 4-1. Here he is battling for possession on the edge of the penalty area with Jules Koundé, who's done well in a tight position with two Spanish players around him. Can't find Kanté, out-muscled from the ball by Rodri in midfield. Laid off to the halfway line here for Aymeric Laporte. Spain playing just amongst themselves on the left-hand side. Rodri back to Laporte and then forward from Nacho. The turn is from Fabian Ruiz to the right-hand side for Lamine Yamal. Has Jesus Navas for company on his outside. Into the penalty area. Olmo let it run, but we'll get a second bite to the cherry. It came off Saliba, tries a little backheel towards Morata. Intercepted in the penalty area by Upamecano. Ruiz will squeeze it forward. Williams with a little backheel. That's been cleared downfield. Well dealt with in the end by France. Forward from Nacho to Rodri. Around the outside it goes to Lamine Yamal, stepping in field towards the edge of the penalty area. Onto that left foot. Now Olmo 30 yards from goal. 10 yards to his left to find Ruiz. Backheel from Williams. Spins it wide to Cucurella. Corner of the penalty area now, the Chelsea fullback. He's being forced back. It's a good bit of pressing from Ousmane Dembele down that right-hand side for France. But here's Laporte now, wandering forward from centre-half and then slipping in to his left for Cucurella. A little bit more space for Williams here, but that's shut down by the retreating Ousmane Dembele. Drops in alongside Koundé. Ball now with Cucurella inside to Olmo. Laporte wide again to Nico Williams. Dembele jogs in place in front of him. It's Ruiz, near post, flipped on towards Morata. Couldn't make decent contact, and it's cleared by France. Edge of the penalty area, Kylian Mbappe. To Hernandez, wide on this left-hand side. Saliba, pressed by Fabian Ruiz, and the clearance for Saliba. Randall Kolo Muani was interested for a moment as Laporte let it bounce, but it's Cucurella that got there first, and it's back with Unai Simon. Rodri to his left. Here's Aymeric Laporte venturing forward again, left of centre. Lifts one out to the left-hand side. Cucurella takes it down well. Just clipped it past Dembele. But the little touch from Nico Williams is too heavy, and it's out of play for a throw into France down their right-hand side. Well, having a little look. That challenge, it's ironic, isn't it, really? It's, one of the first fouls of the game was Nacho in behind Randall Kolo Muani, and there was a little bit of afters as Nacho pushed down at the head of Kolo Muani. Spain have given it away. Rabiot, the challenge there from Jesus Navas is going to earn him a yellow card, but potentially spare Spain because there was space down the left-hand side. France went from back to front quickly. That's a poor challenge from Jesus Navas, and I imagine the VAR will have a look at this. The studs are showing, and he's caught Rabiot relatively high on the ankles, not with 1 foot, but 2. It was down the right-hand side to Kolo Muani, who slipped it inside for Rabiot. Navas was stretching, and Mbappe was in acres of space. It was a simple pass from Rabiot to find the French captain. But it was the interventions of Jesus Navas that prevented him from pulling the trigger, and has seen the French medical team. Franck Legal is out checking on Adrien Rabiot. Didier Deschamps just called over William Saliba to have a word, but Kylian Mbappe has taken the ball and spotted it up. Nacho standing in front of him, as is Slavko Vincic, the referee. A little bit of concern on the face of Luis de la Fuente, really for the first time in the tournament. This is a bit of a test now. They showed their qualities of resilience against Georgia, as we said already, but this is a different beast entirely. This French team know how to win, know how to grind out results. It's a pretty prolonged period of treatment for Adrien Rabiot. He's a free agent. He was to the end of his contract at Juve. He's always been a bit of a flashpoint, a controversial figure, and once again this summer, as it has been for so many summers before, the future of Adrien Rabiot, who's undoubtedly a quality performer on this stage at this level. He's been at some of the biggest clubs in Europe. That will be his next destination. He'll be fully focused at the moment on trying to get France to yet another major tournament final. But first, they'll have to find their way to maybe another opportunity at goal here, as Unai Simon bellows at his wall, trying to set it up with Kylian Mbappe standing over it. It's 27 metres to goal. It's right of centre, and it looks like the latest addition to Real Madrid squad fancies this. It will take some hit to beat Unai Simon from here. It's Mbappe, it's into the middle of the wall. Collected by Conte, back to the halfway line. In the centre circle here is William Saliba. And now Rabiot back to Saliba, who's forced to turn to home and find Mike Maignan. So ball over the top down the right-hand side, and Koundé stayed forward, and it almost found him. It just bounces agonisingly away from the France right-back. Adrien Rabiot is back to his feet. He's moving all right. It was a pretty physical challenge from Jesus Navas. Cucurella with the throw, level with his own box down the left-hand side. Loop down the touchline. Morata tried to head it in field. Rabiot will nod it towards the edge of the Spanish area. It's Nacho with the header. Now Upamecano comes flying forward. Cucurella loops it towards the edge of the centre circle. Mbappe challenges with Olmo, who will nod it back to Navas. Has to be careful here. He's got to deal with Kylian Mbappe. That's turned down the line and picked up by William Saliba. Rabiot with a high boot with Rodri, who kept to his feet as Tchouameni slips it back to the edge of the penalty area for William Saliba. Now Mike Maignan. Olmo in his box, as is Alvaro Morata. Maignan all the way down the left-hand side, almost onto the left boot of Kylian Mbappe, who couldn't quite keep that one in play. Thrown for Spain down the right-hand side, Jesus Navas. Watches on as Nacho goes to his left-hand side to find Aymeric Laporte. Back again to Nacho, just outside the centre circle. Slipped across again to Aymeric Laporte. Spain trying to be patient in their build-up, as France happy to just sit in and give the likes of Williams and Yamal no space to run into. We've got a goal as a cushion as well. Don't really need to do anything too risky here, France. They're holding Spain at arm's length at the moment. Yamal, Fabian Ruiz lifts one to the left-hand side. Cucurella nods it down. It's looking for Nico Williams, and that's Classic N'Golo Kante, dropping in to win it back, and it's forward down the touchline from Koundé. Finds Dembele, shifts in away from Cucurella, and now challenged by Rodri, but he's evaded him and found Theo Hernandez flying forward. France coming forward again with Mbappe, left-hand corner of the penalty area, cuts in on his right, edge of the box, tries to strike for goal. Navas in the way. Laporte tries to block the follow-up cross from the byline from Dembele, and it's out of play for a throw-in. France have found the gear they've been missing. It just pinged off the body of Jesus Navas. Randall Kolo Muani, it's just hit him. Mopped up by Dembele on the byline. France have got on with the throw-in quickly, inside Spanish territory. Just floated down the touchline by N'Golo Kante, but floated too far. Spain with the throw-in. Spanish dominating possession, France showing all the threat. And that's sloppy from Spain as they've turned the ball over themselves. It'll be a French throw now, deep inside the Spanish half in the attacking third as Koundé goes to collect it. Spain really at threat here of going two behind if they aren't careful. Tossed into the penalty area. Kolo Muani nods it down. Dembele to Koundé. First time ball into the box. Navas lets it float over his head as Yamal will try and collect it. Theo Hernandez, little back heel. Thought Mbappe was making the run down the touchline. Instead, it'll just dribble across the byline for a goal kick to Spain, and a chuckle and a smile between Theo Hernandez and Kylian Mbappe. This is a relaxed France performance. An energetic France performance. Nacho, edge of the centre circle, forward to Rodri. Spins out towards his left, finds Cucurella on the touchline, closed down by Dembele. Back to the base of the centre circle, where Aymeric Laporte collects it for Spain. 20 minutes on the clock. Nacho forward, Olmo on the half turn, spins away from Rabiot. Was a very nice turn from Dani Olmo. It's found its way to Lamine Yamal, right of centre, tries to win one towards goal, and what a goal that is from Lamine Yamal! My word, it's 25 yards from goal. He's pinged it off the inside of the post, right into the top corner. He's 16 years old. He is the youngest goal scorer in the history of the tournament. And what a goal it is. He's overcome with emotion, and you can understand it. It's a brilliant piece of football. Yamal on the edge of the penalty area kept his nerve, kept his cool, shifted Rabiot and Saliba one way, dipped his shoulder to his left and just unleashed a whipping bolt from the blue into the heart of Les Bleus. And this game has already erupted in Munich. Lamine Yamal, 4 days shy of his 17th birthday, has produced something quite special. It's quickly becoming his tournament. Nacho forward to Rodri. Lays it off to Aymeric Laporte. Chills. I have goosebumps in the commentary box. It's forward from Williams, edge of the penalty area. Spain are hunting another. Spun out to the right-hand side by Rodri to Yamal. Round the outside comes Jesus Navas from the byline against the shins of Theo Hernandez. Spain will have the corner kick. There was concern before the game that the combination of 38-year-old Jesus Navas and 16-year-old Lamine Yamal was a weak spot for France, for Spain down there, right-hand side, that area that Mbappe could exploit. It has been, but we've seen the flip side of the coin. Here's Williams' ball into the penalty area from the corner. Skews away from Laporte, but out to the left-hand side for Olmo. Back by Ruiz. He's got too much on that. It's a risk-reward balance. Luis de la Fuente was very, very vocal in the build-up about how much he supports Jesus Navas, despite his advancing years, to deputise for Carvajal. Ball to the left-hand side, it's Nico Williams, puts it onto his right, tries to slip it through. Good interception by Saliba, lifted back into the penalty area by Yamal. France on the back foot here, but that's well done by Upamecano to find Dembele, but that's well won by Williams, and now Rodri, left-hand side, trying to run away from Kante. Slick backwards to Cucurella. Inside to Olmo. Laid off to the halfway line. Here's Aymeric Laporte. Again to Rodri. Nacho. Back across. Left-hand side on the halfway line. Here's Aymeric Laporte. Carries it forward. 15-20 yards. France just back away from him. Tries to spear it to the corner of the penalty area for Dani Olmo, who can't keep control of the ball, but appreciates the idea from Laporte. Two France players converged around him very rapidly. Man of the match against Germany. He's got a cracking goal as well in that game too. Nacho, forward, finds Yamal. Drifts away from Mbappe, pocket of space midway through the French half. Slides it forward to Olmo, right-hand side of the penalty area. Now wide here to Navas, gets the ball into the box. Nodded away by Saliba. And Olmo with a striker goal. Deflection off Koundé, and Spain have turned it around in a heartbeat. It's Dani Olmo again. Jules Koundé puts it into his own net. It's a red wave. Les Bleus bustled their way into an early lead, but in no time whatsoever, La Roja come roaring back. The first, something special. This one, a bit messy, but a bit of quality from Jesus Navas. Saliba had to head it away. Straight to Olmo, who juggled on the edge of the penalty area and ghosted past Tchouaméni. Unleashed a right-footed strike that beat Maignan. It may well have been going wide. Jules Koundé has to intervene on the line, but could only succeed in turning it past Marc Maignan. And Mike Maignan watches on in horror as France's lead has evaporated. And midway through the first half, they're chasing the game. We said they look more like their old selves, and they do here now as Kante tries to force his way forward. Here's Dembele. Right-hand side, tries to drift past Cucurella, low towards the near post. For a moment, Unai Simon was worried. Dembele thinks that should be a corner kick. The officials disagree. Well, who thought this one was going to be tight and cagey? It's open. It's end-to-end. Goal scoring opened by Randal Kolo Muani. Lamine Yamal made a piece of history with a piece of magic. And Jules Koundé's been credited with the own goal. Tossed in by Hernandez, back into the France half. Saliba shuffles it across to Tchouaméni. Now Upamecano, down the right-hand side for Dembele. Williams in front of him. Drifts past Williams, now Cucurella, his next opponent. Tries to spin it towards the edge of the penalty area. Mbappe was lying in wait, it's Navas with the clearance. And it'll just bounce away from Upamecano on the far side for a throw into France, 10 yards inside their own half of the pitch. It's into Maignan, now Saliba. Back to the goalkeeper again. Maignan wanted to play to Upamecano, Morata was lurking, so it's back with Saliba left of centre. Tries to step away from Olmo. Yamal will come across now and press Theo Hernandez. Down the touchline for Mbappe. Drifts infield, but a little bit deep does Mbappe, and he'll float one out to the right-hand side for Dembele, off the thigh. Cucurella backpedaling already. Dembele onto his left, tries to drift past Williams, low towards the penalty area, and again it's Navas that scoops it clear. Over Koundé, Morata just shuffled him underneath the flight of the ball. That was spotted by Slavko Vincic, and he blew the whistle. This will be a free kick for France in a dangerous area. It's in an advanced position, level with the right-hand side of the penalty area, probably 30-odd yards from goal, if not further. It's like Ousmane Dembele will be the man to try and whip this in towards the back post, where there's a crowd of bodies. In fact, a line of bodies on the edge of the penalty area. Dembele's ball is deep towards the back post, and it's Rabiot that tries to pursue it. Has he kept it in play, the former PSG midfielder? No, says Slavko Vincic, and then it'll be given to Unai Simon. He'll take the goal kick. There were just 4 minutes and 9 seconds between Spain's 2 goals. France scoring in the opening 10 minutes. It is a special bit of play from Dani Olmo as well. He'll feel very unlucky not to be credited with that. It's come off Jules Koundé last, but it looked like it was on target to me. Unai Simon, edge of the penalty area now for Nacho. France think about pressing as Unai Simon just plays it round Kolo Muani to his left to Laporte. Back with the goalkeeper. Kolo Muani presses a bit quicker this time as Spain seem to be teasing France, encouraging them, trying to draw them onto them as Lamine Yamal is floating back towards the edge of his own penalty area and turns it back to Simon. First time ball to his left inside the box is Laporte. Down the touchline, Cucurella. Slip back again to Laporte. And now to Unai Simon, forward to Rodri, and he will be able to turn away from the advance N'Golo Kanté, and now Lamine Yamal's got a bit of space right of centre and runners around him. Jesus Navas wide on the right hand side was one of them. Back in field to Lamine Yamal. Edge of the penalty area, Dani Olmo in front of Saliba. Olmo left the ball behind as he tried to slip past Saliba, who had a bit of help from Rabiot, when France have got it clear and got it to their danger man Kylian Mbappe, who starts to accelerate now, running at Nacho, who's backpedaling away from Kylian Mbappe as Nacho wins it very, very well. I was about to say his future teammate, but of course Nacho, his last ever game for Real Madrid was that Champions League final. He's signed for Al Qadsiya in Saudi. They've just got promoted to the top flight. Ball on the left-hand side with Cucurella. Inside to Dani Olmo. There's Tchouaméni snapping on his heels on that left flank, so it's just a little pass back to Fabian Ruiz, and now Olmo to Laporte. Laporte into midfield for Fabian Ruiz, and now Williams. Williams turns, Tchouaméni, Williams edge of the penalty area, Williams still going, still with the ball in the penalty box, lays it off, Morata challenges flying in, tried to bundle his way through, the ball bundles loose instead, and it's into the hands of Mike Maignan. It was genius from Nico Williams. Just gliding off the touchline. France didn't know what to do, how to challenge him. Saliba got a toe to the ball, which was enough. It fell to Morata, but too many around him to be able to pull the trigger as quickly as he wanted to. France living a dangerous game at the moment. It's Koundé to the base of the centre circle now for Tchouaméni. Into midfield for Rabiot. Rodri follows him across to the right-hand side. Ball now with Kanté. Now Koundé. Kanté again. 3 yards away from him to his left. Now Tchouaméni into the centre circle. Floats one out to the left-hand side, onto the left boot of Theo Hernandez. Now Mbappe drops in alongside him to come and collect it. Will turn it back to the halfway line for William Saliba. Tchouaméni. Long diagonal, wide towards Dembele. Well won by Cucurella. Tries to nod it down for Dani Olmo. The appeal is handball from Olmo, and Koundé will sheepishly collect it as the referee blows the whistle. Free kick will be Spain's. Just a little shove out from Olmo that exacerbated Koundé's momentum and maybe helped him touch the ball with his arm, but Slavko Vincic has given the ball to Aymeric Laporte. Now whipped across from left to right by Fabian Ruiz to Jesus Navas. Turns this back to Nacho. Nacho is stopped in the middle of his half. Waits for the press of Kolo Muani, and then goes wide to Navas, who will be closed down by Theo Hernandez. Spain back into their own half with Nacho in the right-back position at the moment. Nacho finds his goalkeeper, Unai Simon. Spain look in control of the game. They seem to have settled really well in Munich. Shaky opening, but they've found their stride. The ball forwards. Oh, Morata isn't going to collect that. Instead, it's Theo Hernandez on the edge of the penalty area. Maignan delicate to Saliba on the edge of the box. Past Morata, and now back from Tchouaméni to the goalkeeper. To his right to Upamecano. Fall to the halfway line and down the touchline for Jules Koundé. Inside to Upamecano, who's tiptoeing his way forward and slips it wide again to Ousmane Dembélé. Tries the right-footed ball deep towards the back post. Theo Hernandez is there, trying to get out of the way of the flight of it, but it's come off his midriff and will just glide out of play for a throw into Spain on their right-hand side in their defensive third. I promise you, you won't see a better goal in the tournament than what Lamine Yamal has produced this evening. It's brought him to tears, and I'm sure it brought a few Spanish supporters to tears as well. It was something wonderful. Well, Yamal's been caught now on the touchline. The referee spotted it and blows the whistle. I think it was Theo Hernandez with the challenge. There was a bit of a war of words in the build-up to the game. Hernandez was quite late on Yamal. He's not made too much contact with the Barcelona youngster, but he's already learned how to make the most of things. Spanish number 19. Spain with 57% possession. 2 goals for just 1 shot on target. Tells the tale of the first half so far for Spain. It's been their kind of night. The early goal for France, a minor blip in this first half for the 3-time champions. Williams holds off the press of Koundé well and slips it back into his own half for Ruiz, and Nacho can turn in the centre circle, and they've allowed him to run forward here, the Real Madrid centre half, out to the right hand side for Lamine Yamal. Navas round the outside takes away the form of Theo Hernandez. Fabian Ruiz to the edge of the penalty area, hits it, deflects it behind for a corner. I think it was Upamecano in the way. Again, Lamine Yamal drifting off the touchline with a pass to just find Fabian Ruiz. That one's on target. To their credit, France have 3 players throwing themselves in front of the goal-bound effort. Corner kick will come in from the far side, from Spain's left. Laporte and Nacho in the penalty area up from the back. Slavko Vincic wants a little word with Alvaro Morata and Dani Olmo, the 2 Spanish players closest to Mike Maignan. Williams will deliver from the left-hand side. In towards the near post, away by Kolo Muani. Cucurella can't get it under his spell, but a little bit of a deflection on it. Finds Fabian Ruiz onto his left and tries to loop it to the edge of the box. It's not his natural foot. It's dropped here to Yamal, though, who tries to float one back into the penalty area. A little bit too much on it, as Theo Hernandez will watch this roll out of play for a goal kick. France look like they need the half-time break. Well, Spain have participated in the most European Championship finals, apart from Germany, who've been to 14 tournaments, and some guys. Mbappe, despite the challenge of Rodri inside the penalty area, still holds on to the ball. France have numbers in this move here. On the right-hand side comes Dembélé, stepping into the penalty area. It's delicate stuff. And he's onto the shins of Cucurella, and France with a set piece. Dembélé will be the man to take it. From that right-hand side. Can he get this delivery right? Often criticised for his lack of end product. Can he produce here from this corner to try and give France a chance to equalise? Dembele into the middle of the penalty area, and it's a powerful header from Laporte. Collected deep inside, well, towards the halfway line by Kante. Back down the outside for Dembele. Laid off to Koundé, tries to get it back into the box. Rodri nods it clear, just away from Williams. Koundé collects for France. Right of centre is Kante. Out towards the right-hand side for Ousmane Dembele. Running now at Cucurella, who left to boot dangling. Dembele squeezed past it. Cucurella says he got a toe to the ball, but the referee disagrees. Another French set piece. He's just a little bit too nippy there for Cucurella, who just twitched as Dembele went past him, and that was enough. It was such a key part of that French recovery against Portugal. Dembele, he started to look much better as the PSG forward came on. He'll be delivering this set piece from the right-hand side. Dembele, deep towards the back post. Tchouaméni was there. Navas knew. He puts it behind for a corner kick. But one from the training ground from France, as Tchouaméni just wandered his way around towards the back post. Taken quickly by France is Theo Hernandez. Kante back out to Theo Hernandez on the left. This time he'll lift it in left-footed towards the back post. Kept alive by Saliba, but it'll be dropped to Dani Olmo. Not it down the touchline. Ruiz won't get a toe to it. Koundé will, but this time it's slammed clear. And now Williams on the touchline. France with only two back. They're getting reinforcements soon, but Williams is running at them. And it's curled towards the central area, edge of the box. Yamal, he couldn't do it again. Could he's deflected wide off Theo Hernandez. He's put his body on the line there, Hernandez. He's hurt himself. And that's what Spain can do to you. They have such pace going forward. Williams just stopped on the edge of the box and whipped it right-footed to Lamine Yamal, who I think has caught Theo Hernandez on his follow-through. He's stepped on the Milan fullback. Corner kick for Spain from the left-hand side. Hobbling back into the penalty area is Hernandez, as it's in by Williams, deep towards the 6-yard box, and this time Maignan will come and claim. Above the head of Morata, tries to go early towards the right-hand side for Ousmane Dembele. Cucurella watchful, hooked forward. Koundé plays it against Williams, and this time we'll find Kante down the right-hand side. That's infield again to Tchouaméni. Koundé to Tchouaméni. Rabiot back to Tchouaméni in the centre circle. Rabiot back to Tchouaméni and out to the left-hand side for Theo Hernandez. Played off to Saliba. Infield to Tchouaméni. Tchouaméni across to Upamecano. That's down the right flank. A good ball to find Ousmane Dembele, with Cucurella and Williams converging in front of him. He plays it in field to Koundé, tries to float one out towards the left-hand side for Hernandez, who was completely free, but that's been spotted well by Jesus Navas. Not for the first time this evening, as Lamine Yamal carries it forward for Spain down the right-hand side. No space. It's back in field to Fabian Ruiz, who has Rodri alongside him for support. Here's the Manchester City midfielder. Curl to the left. Laporte off his chest. Finds his way to the halfway line. Still yet to be challenged. Laporte forward to Cucurella, and now back again to the former City man. Fabian Ruiz has dropped in alongside the defenders. Waits for the press of Kolo Muani before thinking about sprinting forward. Instead lays it off to Laporte. They found Williams, who was just jogging his way back towards the halfway line anyway. Again, Laporte will squeeze it wide to Cucurella, tries to float it in field. Saw the run of Morata. It was over the head of Williams, but dropped here to Rabiot, who tries to burst forward for Spain. Kante between the lines. A ball out to the left-hand side for Theo Hernandez. And Mbappe through the middle now, lurking on the edge of the penalty area. Hernandez tries to play that against the press of Alvaro Morata. I think that might be handball. Referee did blow the whistle. The free kick has been given on this left-hand side, in fact. Morata just a little bit over-eager to get there. Closing in on half-time. Still France trailing. Spain 2, France 1. Dembele with another cross. This from the left instead. Slavko Vincic wants him to take it closer to the touchline. One in the wall. Dembele's ball in deep towards the back post. Nodded away by Morata. Down by Upamecano. It's Fabian Ruiz who picks up the loose ball. Kanté collects for France and then gets it back off Koundé. In the centre circle to his left. Theo Hernandez to Kanté again. Tchouaméni slips it down the right hand side. Here's Koundé. Dembele alongside him. Dembele being marshalled at the moment by Ruiz, so turns it back to Tchouaméni, who slips it to the edge of the centre circle for Saliba. Prods that forward for Rabiot. Rabiot stepping to the edge of the penalty area, tries to clip it into the box towards Kanté. The header was from Laporte, and it's taken down by Fabian Ruiz, who's holding off Kanté now, and will find Dani Olmo. Touches that away from Kanté, does it? No, it's the France midfielder that was just intercepting in front of Olmo. Well, that's good to hear. We've just heard news that UEFA have confirmed that Dani Olmo has been credited with the goal, which was diverted in by Jules Koundé. And it was a special goal as well, as he juggled his way past Aurélien Tchouaméni. Here's Cucurella dancing his way past French tackles. Tchouaméni wins it back though. And Williams down the touchline for Olmo, who tries to use the outside of his boot to loop it towards the far side for Yamal. Theo Hernandez nods it down to Mike Maignan, his brother. Again, so unfortunate. Was out of the World Cup with an injury, and then again out of the European Championship this time round. His family, Theo Hernandez, in attendance this evening. Slipping Cucurella. Dembele tries to exploit it. It's just succeeded in conceding the free kick. France started to look a little bit frustrated here. You can understand it too, because Spain have been pretty professional. France, after going a goal ahead, certainly not. Room for improvement from Didier Deschamps' side. Curled down the right-hand side for Unai Simon. That's found Yamal. It's a lovely ball as well from the Bilbao goalkeeper. And Yamal towards the halfway line for Olmo. In a tangle with William Saliba, who springs back to his feet quickly as Slavko Vincic blows the whistle. Free kick will be Spain's on the halfway line. Olmo just knew the challenge was coming and spread his body, waited for the contact from the Arsenal defender. He's a wonderful operator, Dani Olmo. He showed that against Germany. He's shown that repeatedly in the tournament, in fact, and really does deserve the credit for the goal. Nacho into the centre circle for Fabian Ruiz from the free kick. Laid off by Aymeric Laporte all the way to the edge of the box. Here's Unai Simon. To his right to Nacho. Taking his time. He's trying to stride his way past Randall Kolo Muani, who's caught him. And Nacho is rolling around on the pitch. That's a sore one from Kolo Muani, who I think's just caught him. Yes, as he's gone to ground, Nacho. It was a foul initially. Just clipped his ankles, did Kolo Muani. The boot just seems to have come down on the right foot of Nacho as he hits the deck. And that will be half-time. The referee blows the whistle. What a first half in Munich as well. Randall Kolo Muani opened the scoring before Lamine Yamal produced what has to be one of the goals of the tournament to become the youngest ever goal scorer in European Championship history with something quite special. Dani Olmo took advantage of some defensive array from France to juggle his way past Tchouaméni and rifle a deflected effort off Jules Koundé past Mike Maignan to turn it around. The space of just over 4 minutes for Spain. They lead at half-time. The second half will come to you live wherever you are. Join me in 15 minutes. Half-time in Munich. It's Spain 2, France 1.
Remember to check out FootMob's social channels on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter and TikTok. Thank you for listening to FootMob's audio commentary. Be sure to check out player ratings, shot maps and more in-depth info on the match page. Remember to check out FootMob's social channels on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter and TikTok. Thank you for listening to FootMob's audio commentary. Be sure to check out player ratings, shot maps and more in-depth info on the match page. Remember to check out FootMob's social channels on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter and TikTok.
checking for the suspended Robin Lenormand. In midfield, it's a trio of Ruiz, Rodri and Dani Olmo, one of the goal scorers. Nico Williams on the left, Morata through the middle, and Lamine Yamal has been Spain's main threat from that right-hand side. France with possession on the left in the attacking third. Jesus Navas gave them the throw, and it's in from Mbappe to Kante, but he can't get it back to Mbappe. Spain have picked it off wide on that right-hand side and look to counter here. And it's an early ball from Fabien Ruiz, and it's a foot race between Nico Williams and Jules Koundé. And Williams, well, Mike Maignan got there, came sliding in and spared Koundé's blushes. He's clipped it down the touchline. It looks like a decent ball as well for Ousmane Dembélé, and an awkward one for Aymeric Laporte to deal with. But Mike Maignan's has done everything he can to help out Jules Koundé there. That looked certain that Nico Williams was going to get there first. He gets a touch to the ball, but a perfectly timed tackle from Maignan. Has to get that right. And the AC Milan keeper does so. It's superb goalkeeping. So quick off his line. France on the front foot, down this right-hand side with Ousmane Dembélé. Inside to Kante, who tries to slip away from Morata, who's been caught by an errant arm from the former Leicester City man, but France allowed to continue with Jules Koundé. Down the right-hand side for Dembélé, gets the ball out of his feet, in towards the near post, deflection off the thigh of Cucurella. Just carries that in towards the near post where Unai Simon can pounce, and Spain back in possession. France trying desperately to get themselves back in the game early on here. They've started quickly. And Mike Maignan, who is now clutching at his right hamstring, he keeps testing it out after that slide challenge denied Nico Williams. Would have surely been a third for Spain. They have the free kick on the right hand side. It'll be Rodri. Maignan with a little thumbs up to the Spanish bench. Played off to Yamal. On the halfway line is Olmo. Slip back to Rodri. Centre circle for Ruiz. Now back to Aymeric Laporte. Tries to lift one over the top for Nico Williams to chase. And again, Maignan's quick off his line. This time he just has to catch it off the bounce on the edge of his penalty area and roll this into the feet of William Saliba. Tchouaméni drops in from midfield to collect it off the centre half. It's wide to the right-hand side now for Koundé. Quickly flicks it forward and infield to N'Golo Kanté. Just skips past one challenge, then another. Was stretching all the way as he tried to get away from Fabien Ruiz. Found Tchouaméni, who's slipped it backwards to Upamecano. That's beyond Saliba, but Fernandes will collect it for France wide on the left-hand side. Rabiot trying to get away from Dani Olmo with a little touch on the ball. Did Rabiot get the last touch? He did. It's out of play for a throw-in to Spain. Scrappy. Rabiot brought in after his suspension in the last game. It was Eduardo Camavinga that was left on the bench instead. Lifted forward from Yamal. It's a good ball to find Olmo. Juggles in on the corner of the penalty area in front of Saliba. Wide now for Navas. Digs one out towards the back post. Koundé with a little header backwards. That's dropped here for Nico Williams. Level with the edge of the box. Wide on the left-hand side. Infield to Cucurella. Back towards the centre circle for Aymeric Laporte, who turns and finds Unai Simon, who's up to the edge of the centre circle, the Spanish goalkeeper. To his left to find Laporte. Down the left-hand side it goes to Nico Williams. Infield to the run of Dani Olmo. Good spot from Williams. Wide to the left for Fabien Ruiz. Back to Cucurella. Here's Laporte. Just jogging back to the edge of his penalty area. Finds Nacho in the heart of the Spanish half of the pitch. Ruiz now can turn and slide it forward to Olmo. Runners in front of him. Williams lets it run to the left-hand side for Cucurella. Morata makes a run towards the near post. Inside the penalty box. Cucurella almost finds him. It's off Saliba. It's a good ball from Cucurella. It's through the legs underneath Jules Koundé. And Saliba tracked the run of Morata all the way. Cucurella into Olmo, back wide to the fullback on the left. Cucurella down the touchline for Nico Williams. Last touch came off Jules Koundé. Spain with another throw. Alvaro Morata shakes his head. The referee's frustrated maybe by what he thinks is a bit heavy-handed treatment from William Saliba. Cucurella tosses this back towards the halfway line. Laporte will collect. Into the centre circle for Nacho. Out to the Right-hand side, Fabian Ruiz looks, but turns back. The ball to Yamal was quickly cut off. Here comes Laporte, striding forward. Wide on his left-hand side is Nico Williams. Gets to the byline. Koundé with him, though. Tries to chop away from the Barcelona man, and he's got his feet in the tangle for the first time this evening, Nico Williams, and that'll be a throw-in for France. Tough evening for Jules Koundé. You won't want to swap places with him against 21-year-old Nico Williams. That's good play from Kolo Muani to just backheel it on the volley to Conte, who's managed to keep that despite the press of Cucurella, but he's just given that straight to Rodri. Last touch came off the Man City man. It's out of play for a throw-in in front of the French dugout, though. We've kept our eyes on Bryce Samba and Alphonse Areola, who are the two substitute goalkeepers. Mike Maignan doesn't look the most comfortable. France will play on with Chouameni. Centre circle, to his left is Saliba. In between the lines for Rabiot, left of centre, wide now to Mbappe. Mbappe running at Navas, pulls back to the edge of the penalty area. Lamine Yamal tries to stay with Kylian Mbappe, gets to the byline, clips on left-footed all the way to the back post. Wonderful first touch from Ousmane Dembele. Has Cucurella facing up. Dembele into the 6-yard box, straight into the gloves of Unai Simon at the near post. It's an exquisite first touch from Dembele. Couldn't make the most of it though, and the delivery was pretty poor in the end. Laporte for Williams. Followed all the way into the Spanish half by Jules Koundé. He's won it back well. Koundé slides it into midfield. Here's Nkante out to the right-hand side. Koundé towards the near post. Lunging in was Laporte. Williams wants to clear it from the byline. Won't be given the chance by the referee. It will be a corner kick. And finally, Koundé's won one of those battles. There were three players around Ousmane Dembele. It's unlikely it was going to get to him, but a bit more urgency shown by the French now. In from Dembele, deep towards the back post, header! It was down from Chouameni, off the turf in the 6-yard box and into the hands of Unai Simon. It's much better from France now, a little bit more direct. He came over the top of Nico Williams. France with an effort on target in this second half as Laporte carries forward. He's done really well to just shrug off the attentions of Kolo Muani. It's down the left-hand side for Cucurella. Not too many committed forward by Spain here, though, and Cucurella has to go looking for options and support. He's on the edge of the penalty area now, Cucurella. Into the feet of Olmo. Yamal round the outside for Jesus Navas. Underhit the pass. That's easily collected by Hernandez. And it's Rabiot. Well, he's turned into danger on the corner of the penalty area, and it's a fortunate call because Morata pulled out at him. Conte, midway through the French half, right in the middle of it, in fact, and it's to the right-hand side for Jules Koundé, who turns it down the touchline for Ousmane Dembele. Back to Chouameni, right of centre. Forward over the halfway line to Conte, and then back to Chouameni, who whips one up to the right-hand side. And Ousmane Dembele's got a bit more space and will run at Cucurella, who backpedals into his own penalty area, pulled towards the penalty area, penalty spot. Away from Navas, but out to this right-hand side for Jules Koundé. Conte. Edge of the centre circle is Saliba. Rabiot turns away from the press of Yamal and now ghosts past Rodri. Worked wide to Koundé. Winds up the cross towards the back post. Flicks off the head of Nacho. Collected here by Yamal on the byline. Pressed by Theo Hernandez. Last touch off the Frenchman. Throw in for Spain, but right near their corner flag. And France are trying to turn the screw a little bit. Didier Deschamps needed a reaction from his side in his second half, and he's getting it. The question is, can they make this pressure count? They'll try and box Spain in. Down their left-hand side for the moment, France. It's Rodri. Steers it down the touchline, and Yamal will flick it on in towards the French half, but that's an easy one for Upamecano to deal with on the halfway line. Maignan. Out towards his right is Koundé, who goes down the right flank for Dembele. 10 minutes into the second half, and France look the more likely to add something to the scoreline. Chouameni slips it across the centre circle to find William Saliba, who wanders forward from centre half, still going into an advanced position. Saliba, and Kolo Muani holds off Laporte, but he's got three around him, and it's Rodri that gets a toe to it and slips it to his left, 5 yards to find Fabian Ruiz, and tries to curl the ball into the channel for Nico Williams to chase, and Koundé is there first, but just about got it back to Mike Maignan just in the nick of time. They keep trying that ball in behind Koundé. Rabiot turns it down the left-hand side. Here's Mbappe running at Navas. Mbappe into the penalty area. Thought about the cross in towards the near post. Right-footed, straight into the gloves of Unai Simon. Well, Spain have been making it obvious that they're trying to isolate Nico Williams against Jules Koundé, but the same can be said for France there. And repeatedly throughout the course of the game, Kylian Mbappe is trying to get one-on-one with Jesus Navas. 13 years between the pair. Navas looks uncomfortable. And it looks like there may be a change here for Spain. I think there will. It's Jesus Navas that I think is unable to continue, and he's gone trudging off. He has not been moving particularly well, but what a player, what a servant he's been for this Spanish team in this European Championships. He's going to be replaced by Daniel Vivian of Bilbao. But I'm not entirely sure how this Spanish back line will take shape after the substitution. Navas wanders off, the 38-year-old, and soaks up the applause of the Spanish fans. As off wanders Jesus Navas. And we wonder how they'll set up here. It seems that he will go into the middle, and Nacho will come across to right back. A problem at the moment as we have an intruder onto the playing surface, so we'll be delayed for a second as they try and apprehend someone who's decided to have their few moments of fame in the spotlight. It won't even be broadcast as well. The host broadcasters always do their best to avoid showing that as much as possible. I'm sure it'll be all over social media and they'll have their clout, but we'll wait on as they finally cleared the pitch, and we'll restart with a drop ball to the feet of Unai Simon. First passes from Vivian, forward into Yamal, who lays it off to Dani Olmo. Curls it to the left-hand side for Williams. Williams back to the halfway line for Cucurella, an infield from Laporte, and across to Vivian. Laid off by Rodri to Vivian again, and over the halfway line for Fabian Ruiz, who's done that all tournament for Spain as he collects the ball with his back to goal and holds play up on the halfway line to wait for support to arrive. He did really well to find Morata there, and the foul's been given Spain's way. Free kick taken quickly, backwards to Laporte. Forward down the touchline by Cucurella, finds Williams, just touches it inside away from Jules Koundé, twisting and turning. He's put it between the legs of Koundé, who's recovered really well to get the ball back for France, but ran into Cucurella, who finds Rodri. It's back again in Spanish possession. Vivian to Aymeric Laporte. Right to Cucurella. This time it's won back by Ousmane Dembele, and it's forward here to Kanté down the right-hand side. Kanté round the outside for Dembele. Mbappe tries it to the middle, in towards the near post. Unai Simon with the right left arm just thrust towards it. I think there was a deflection on the way through, but he's managed to keep the ball out of the net there, Unai Simon. Morata fouled, holding the ball up inside his own half. It was Chouameni lunging in. France getting closer to the equaliser. Alvaro Morata was lunging in. It was a little bit late. Chouameni was lunging in a little bit late on Alvaro Morata, rather. But France just got in behind Rodri there. And it was a good ball from Dembele. which caught Unai Simon unaware. He was expecting momentum taking him towards his right-hand side of the near post. Just adjusted in time. Cucurella will clear the ball from the halfway line, bounces inside the penalty area. And it's Mike Maignan that catches it. 3 changes incoming for France. Eduardo Camavinga, Antoine Griezmann, and it looks like Bradley Barcola will be joining us as well. Saliba. Upamecano carries it forward. Finds Dembele, turns it wide to Koundé. Rodri comes across for Spain. Infield though to Dembele. Finds Kanté, 35 yards from goal. Slip backwards. Here's Rabiot. Round the outside for Mbappe. Finds Theo Hernandez on the overlap in towards the near post. Little backheel from Kanté. Off of Vivian. Corner kick will be France's from the left-hand side. They'll hold off making the changes before they take this, I'm sure. No, will they make their substitutions now? He was just trying to help it on its way, Kanté. They will change things up. And it's no surprise to see Adrien Rabiot coming off. He's not had the best of games for France. Campy very potent in the heart of midfield, but will be replaced by Eduardo Camavinga. Conte's coming off, as is Kolo Muani too. Wholesale changes for Didier Deschamps. Not happy with what he's seen. On will come Camavinga, Griezmann and Barcola. So Griezmann will sit in behind Bradley Barcola, now leading the line, I believe, alongside Kylian Mbappe, as France changed to a front 2. Ball from the left-hand side, whipped in deep towards the back post. Upamecano with a free header in the far stick. And he's made a meal of it, and he's put it wide. It's a beautiful ball. Floated towards the back post. Upamecano's got the beating of Nacho, but heads it into the ground at his feet. Spain try the direct route towards Yamal. That's nodded down by Theo Hernandez into William Saliba. Saliba has to turn it back to Mike Maignan. Morata presses. Williams will follow the ball to Upamecano and getting the way of the pass as well to Mike Maignan. Morata is flying in with his boots up, hoping to get a touch to the ball. Maignan's put it out of play. There will be a throw-in for Spain down the left. Change of emphasis for Spain here, probably a little bit more like the way they... France, the way they played against Portugal with Camavinga, Tchouaméni and Antoine Griezmann forming almost triangle in their midfield. And here is Griezmann chasing Fabien Ruiz, and Camavinga will get a toe to it. And the two have hunted the ball back for France, but can't keep it. Shuffled into midfield, Olmo. Barcola dropping back. Olmo spins away from Griezmann. Griezmann finds Morata. Morata on the edge of the penalty area to Williams on the left. 2 converge in front of him. Dembele joining Koundé. Back into midfield via Cucurella to Rodri. In the centre circle now for Laporte. Shuffle to his right. Finds Vivian. Forward into midfield for Fabien Ruiz. Laid off to Laporte. Laporte will wander over the halfway line. Forward now to Alvaro Morata. To his left for Cucurella. Back to Morata. Morata whips it to the base of the centre circle. Vivian. Low into the feet of Olmo. Goes to ground under the challenge of Upamecano. Spun it out to the right-hand side, but couldn't keep it. Nacho. Watched as Theo Hernandez took it down. Early ball forward for Camavinga to Mbappe. Joggles it well on the edge of the penalty. Upamecano conceded the free kick. It'll pull out at Morata, and maybe a chance for Luis de la Fuente to get his reinforcements on. Mikel Oyarzábal's ready to come on. Looks like Mikel Merino is as well. The hero in that quarter-final against Germany. 119 minutes on the clock when he scored that header. Looks like Morata will be coming off to be replaced by Oyarzabal, but we still wait for the changes as France try and play their way out the back. Theo Hernandez down the left-hand side. Here's Barcola. Running at the back, peddling Nacho, who's done well. Barcola forced backwards to Theo Hernandez. Camavinga inside to Upamecano. Well, slightly wider to Koundé. Down the right flank here for Ousmane Dembele. Dembele laid off to the edge of the penalty area. Koundé steps one up toward the back post. It's Yamal who will clear it in front of Theo Hernandez. Works it down the left-hand side with his left boot, where it'll be picked up here by William Saliba. Tosses in it from the left into Aurélien Tchouaméni. Centre circle, Dayot Upamecano. Back out wide, Saliba. Olmo in his way. Infield to Tchouaméni. Camavinga. A trio of Spanish shirts surround him. Found up ball forward to Mbappe, who lays it off back to Koundé. Right-hand side now. Crossing area, Dembele. Edge of the box, Mbappe trying to dance his way through. The red shirts just formed a mob in front of him. He couldn't squeeze past them, and it's cleared downfield. Upamecano with a lovely first touch inside the penalty centre circle. Wide from Camavinga, out to Dembele. Williams in his way, gets a studs on the ball. It'll go behind for a corner kick. France continuing to press here in the second half. Dembele with the corner kick from the right-hand side. Right-footed, deep. Nodded away by Nacho to the edge of the box. Lamine Yamal just makes it awkward for Jules Koundé, and he's giving it away here. And here comes Daniel Vivian trying to force Spain forward on the counter. Looks for the crossfield ball, and he's going to find Alvaro Morata. Laid off to Olmo. Left of the hand side of the centre circle. Now Ruiz to Cucurella. Forward to Olmo, and again this time it'll find Rodri in the centre circle. Down the right to Nacho. First time ball to Yamal. He's joined by Williams on that right flank. Lamine Yamal slows as Camavinga comes to join Theo Hernandez. Yamal lifts one into midfield. Ruiz laid off. Laporte, left-footed pass wide to Cucurella. Inside again to Fabian Ruiz. Those two Spanish substitutes have been waiting a while now. Olmo to the halfway line to Laporte. Forwards to Ruiz. Now Rodri to Olmo, to his right edge of the centre circle. Laid back to the halfway line, Nacho. Nacho to Olmo. To Rodri. Rodri to his left to Fabian Ruiz. Spain just keeping the ball at the moment. It's almost a throwback to the tiki-taka days of old. That's forward though, between the lines to Rodri from Laporte, and now Cucurella on the left-hand side, forced backwards. Jules Koundé will chase him into midfield, where Cucurella finds Olmo, and they flick it to the right-back Nacho. Laid off into the halfway line. Daniel Vivian will find Unai Simon. After a period of concerted pressure by France, this is a welcome spell of possession for Spain. Had to ride their luck at times. Early ball forward from Daniel Vivian, looking for the run of Morata. The header from Upamecano was up in the air, but eventually will plant it backwards into the hands of Mike Maignan, who gets rid of it quickly. William Saliba here for France. Up to the halfway line and now forward to Theo Hernandez, who's managed to just squeeze his way past Lamine Yamal, who got very tight. Finds Barcola. Trotted into the path of Griezmann, left-hand side, now left-footed cross deep towards the back post. Dembele squeezes it into the 6-yard box. It's going to come into Camavinga. Williams didn't deal with the danger. From the edge of the penalty area, Hernandez puts it over the bar. Encouraged to hit it with his right foot, but he just scooped it over Unai Simon's goal. Very good ball to find Dembele. Griezmann, who's been quiet since coming on. Dembele couldn't find a teammate, but Spain went to sleep. Camavinga was stretching to get the ball to Hernandez, but the right-footed effort sails harmlessly high. and into where the majority of the French support is. The disappointed French supporters, they saw that sail towards them. Changes now for Spain, those long-awaited changes. Off comes Alvaro Morata to be replaced by Mikel Oyarzabal of Real Sociedad. And Dani Olmo will be replaced. Spent a large portion of the tournament coming on as a substitute, instead comes off, and it's the other Sociedad, Mikel Merino, scorer of that such important goal in the quarter-finals. They call him the Swiss Army knife of midfielders because of how effective he can be in a number of positions. Here he is, back to the halfway line for Rodri, who's now wearing the captain's armband after the departure of Alvaro Morata. Fabian Ruiz, he's had a wonderful tournament. Back to Daniel Vivian. Now Unai Simon. Back to Unai Simon. He's given that straight to Ousmane Dembele, who reacted by nodding it down. He didn't really have time to think. If he did, he could have cushioned that into the path of Kylian Mbappe, who was on the penalty spot. It's been one of those kind of nights for France where even the luck isn't going their way, the half chances. Unai Simon. It's a long clearance from the Bilbao goalkeeper. Over the halfway line, flicked on by Mikel Merino, and Williams with a header of his own. Oyarzabal tries to nod it back. Mikel Merino gathers this off the toe of Tchouameni, flying in there. Lamine Yamal will try and make this awkward for Tchouameni. Griezmann loops it across the face of his own penalty area, but it's a good ball to find Theo Hernandez. Oyarzabal pursues. Oh, Barcola's done really well to skip past Nacho, and it's down the touchline for Theo Hernandez. Runners into the penalty area. Hernandez hasn't pulled the trigger. Instead, he's found Mbappe on the corner of the box, and he tried to squeeze it wide again to Barcola. This time, Daniel Vivian is smart to the move and will play it against the PSG youngster. That'll go out of play, and there'll be a throw-in for Spain. Again, deep in their defensive third, near their corner flag, and now Ousmane Dembele will be withdrawn, and France look to their record goal scorer to once again rise to the occasion. 37-year-old Olivier Giroud will trot on. Spain, though, with the throw. They're going to have to get the ball back first if they're going to feed Giroud. It's France's record goal scorer with 57 goals in 136 appearances. To put that in perspective, Kylian Mbappe has scored 48 goals in 83 appearances. So Giroud's record certainly won't stand, but he'll certainly want to add to it before he does retire. He's been hinting at it in the build-up to the tournament. He's just joined LAFC after departing AC Milan. Really is a quality operator. It's up to the halfway line though for Mikel Merino for Spain. From the free kick won by Lamine Yamal, who tries to find Oyarzabal. That's a good ball from Saliba to the left-hand side, and it's Bradley Barcola. Giroud and Mbappe forming a front two. Late on here for France. Barcola past his man, tries to squeeze it in. It's a good recovery from Nacho. Off the studs of the Real Madrid centre-back. He's playing at right back after Navas's injury. He's done really well to cope there with Barcola. It's not been the easiest of tasks. 10 minutes remain. In by Griezmann. Spain haven't dealt with it very well. It will bundle out of the penalty area to Camavinga. To his left, Jules Koundé. To his left, Theo Hernandez. And wide to the left-hand side for Antoine Griezmann. Winds up the cross off the heel of Nico Williams, and that's collected by Nacho inside the penalty area. Agonisingly out of reach of Theo Hernandez, of Aurélien Tchouameni. Rodri was on the edge of the centre circle. Williams was busting a gut down the right-hand side. He noticed him, but decided not to play it to him. Rodri instead keeping possession for Spain as they lay it off to Daniel Vivian. Right-hand side, Nacho. Merino. To Laporte, left of centre, forward. Fabian Ruiz to Cucurella. Inside to Rodri. Rodri crosses the halfway line, just languidly striding into French territory as he finds Fabian Ruiz and is now back in possession of the ball. The man with the Spanish captain's armband has found Mikel Merino, who lays it out to the right-hand side for Yamal. Steps in onto that effort again. Looks to pull the trigger. This one will just brush over the top of the crossbar. He couldn't do it again, could he? Well, he came very close there, the 16-year-old. He's gone for exactly the same finish. This time he's maybe a foot and a half wide and high of the top corner. France take the goal kick short, so Maignan from Saliba. Merino decides to just harass them inside the penalty area. Upamecano with a long pump downfield. Giroud chasing. Laporte nods it back. The Spanish defenders look to the assistant referee on the near side, waiting for the flag. Unai Simon will be allowed to pick the ball up off the deck. And Spain will take their time. And Unai Simon will throw this overarm into midfield, flicked on by Merino. Drops towards Oyarzabal, who tries to get there before Upamecano, who manages to smuggle it all the way back to Maignan on the edge of the penalty area. It's another long ball downfield, over the top. Griezmann chasing after it, but Aymeric Laporte's been left in a heat just outside the centre circle. The flag's gone up as well. And Laporte's bleeding. We'll have a little look what happens. Well, Aymeric Laporte has turned to just get back into position defensively as Giroud is walking back from an offside position, and as Laporte turns, he goes head first into Giroud's shoulder. He's definitely going to need a bit of treatment here, the former Manchester City defender. He's got blood coming from his nose. Well, I don't know why you would be, but if you're only just joining us in this semi-final between Spain and France in Munich, goal scoring opened very early by Randall Kolo Muani, but it was a wonder goal from Lamine Yamal, who curled one from 25 yards right into the top corner, off the post and past Mike Maignan to level things up before Dani Olmo got Spain in front 4 minutes later in that first half. No goals in the second half, but we're getting closer to the 90 as the treatment continues here for Aymeric Laporte. Olivier Giroud and Antoine Griezmann just waiting to see how Laporte recovers. That's a sporting gesture from a very experienced man, the former Arsenal forward. There was no harm intended from him. So just an unfortunate collision between the two. Spanish fans in mood for a party this evening. Their side, as it stands, will take the first spot in the European Championship final. Of course, tomorrow evening we'll find out who will join them. Will it be England or the Netherlands? Two sides that haven't really lived up to their respective billings so far in the tournament. As you can sense, both France and Spain sense that this is a real opportunity. Aymeric Laporte's just wandering off over to the touchline as Olivier Giroud watches on. It was his shoulder that caused the damage, but as we've said, he didn't mean to hurt Aymeric Laporte. It's long downfield from Unai Simon. Out to the right-hand side. He was looking for Lamine Yamal and Mikel Oyarzabal, but it'll bounce over the byline and France have for the ball again from a goal kick. The seconds ticking away from Didier Deschamps. By my watch, we've got around 5 minutes left of the 90. It's a good ball though to find Barcola. They're going to try and squeeze it forward to Kylian Mbappe early. A run is from Mbappe and Giroud through the middle. Mbappe. With the chance here, but he's put it past Unai Simon, but past the goal as well. He was running at Daniel Vivian, cutting onto his right foot. They squeezed it through to Kylian Mbappe, did Bradley Barcola. He was at full pelt Mbappe. That mask has been a weight for him over the past 4 games. Well, he's free of the shackles of his mask, but couldn't apply the finishing touch. Expecting that netting to just billow out behind Unai Simon. And for extra time to beckon, but France still trail. They're on the edge of their own penalty area. Koundé on the right-hand side, closed down by Williams. Koundé will just squeeze his way past him. Koundé forward. Mbappe round the shoulder of Aymeric Laporte. It's Rodri to Fabian Ruiz inside his own half, and then cleared by Vivian. Launches it long. Saliba with the header. Taken down inside the centre circle by Mikel Merino. Oyarzabal battling for it. Stretching to try and keep possession. Over the top of it into Camavinga's shin pads. And that'll be a free kick for France. Oyarzabal just desperate to try and hold the ball up for Spain to deny France any more possession. You know exactly where this is going from France. Maignan slips but still squeezes it to Saliba on the corner of the penalty area. Rolled across to Upamecano. Down the right-hand side for Koundé. That's too far in front of him. Didier Deschamps waving players forward to try and press Spain as much as possible. Tossed in by Cucurella. That was messy from Spain. It was Fabian Ruiz who puts it straight out of play instead of returning it to Cucurella. In from Jules Koundé. Camavinga backwards to Saliba. Tchouaméni, left-hand side now. Theo Hernandez forced back by Yamal and Merino. Here's Camavinga in the centre circle. Shuffled across to his right. Upamecano up from centre-back into the Spanish half. Tries to curl one into the penalty area. Watched all the way onto the forward by Laporte. Oyarzabal chests it down. Merino thought he'd lost it, but here comes Rodri. Thought about the early ball down the left-hand side to Nico Williams. Wasn't sent away again. Rodri apologises, but he's been found now, Williams. This time by Fabian Ruiz, who holds off the challenge of Griezmann and turns back for home. Slides it to Laporte. Ruiz to his left for Cucurella. Towards the left-hand side for Williams. Cucurella has been caught late by Eduardo Camavinga. Slavko Vincic blows the whistle and wanders over. Yellow card shown to the Real Madrid midfielder. Camavinga, the ball was long gone by the time that Cucurella was caught by Camavinga. You can understand why Slavko Vincic has shown the yellow card. Less than 2 minutes left of the 90. Rodri outside the centre circle, inside French territory. Nice turn from Oyarzabal, who flicks it to the left-hand side for Nico Williams. Running at a tired Jules Koundé. Curls one towards the back post. Header is from Tchouaméni. On the follow-up, Nico Williams. Edge of the penalty area. Rodri with his back to goal. Steps towards midfield. Forward to Merino. Holds off Barcola. Towards the left-hand side. Oyarzabal. Cucurella with space. Across the face of goal. Blocked at source by Koundé. Into the 90th minute, Spain in the attacking third, a corner kick. Surely they can start to dream of the final. Nico Williams is wandering ever so slowly towards this near side to take the corner kick. Five minutes to be added on as Williams into the near post. Ruiz takes it down, lunging in front of Theo Hernandez, who wins it back for France. Griezmann to Theo Hernandez. France could break here, they've got runners, but Spain have plenty of bodies back. That's a hefty collision. Theo Hernandez just went flying into Aymeric Laporte. The yellow card has been shown to Lamine Yamal for kicking the ball away after the whistle had been blown. I think for a little pull back on Theo Hernandez as well. Free kick for France, midway through the Spanish half. Antoine Griezmann stands over the set piece, 40 yards from goal, right of centre. The line is 3 yards outside the penalty area. Griezmann Loops it up towards the back post. Upamecano tries to head it back across the face of goal. It's awkward from Upamecano, and Mikel Merino, who's gone to ground and is holding his face. Haven't seen a replay yet. Upamecano looked awkward in the jump as well. Got underneath the flight of the ball and couldn't do much about it. It's skipped off the top of his head. Merino's back to his feet. And we're back underway shortly. 2 changes in the offing for Spain here. Ferran Torres is one of them. Rodri signalled that he wants to come off. Entirely sure who'll be coming on for him, if these substitutes do in fact get on the field of play at all. It's heaved forward by Unai Simon. Mikel Merino beaten to it by Tchouaméni, but it's dropped to Fabian Ruiz on the halfway line, who this time will find Merino. Rodri to Ruiz, between the lines for Merino. Lovely turn away from Tchouaméni. Left-hand side now, Nico Williams forced a little bit wide by the pass. Jules Koundé gets tight. Williams, right-footed pass to Cucurella. Now Williams again. Into midfield for Rodri, bit of space around him too, and takes his time to pick out a ball, try to clip it over the top towards Fabian Ruiz, who pulled out of the run as Upamecano came across. It's all the way through to Mike Maignan. Saliba ranging forward to his left now to Theo Hernandez, who accelerates down the left-hand side. Wants to play it against Rodri to win the throw-in. Instead, it's Lamine Yamal that emerges with it for Spain down their right-hand side, and Yamal almost squeezed his way past William Saliba. It will roll across the touchline for a throw into Spain, inside French territory. That's his last action of the game. Lamine Yamal. A sensational contribution, especially in the first half from the 16-year-old, as he helped fire Spain towards the European Championship final. He goes off to be replaced by Ferran Torres. Nico Williams also departs. It'll be Martin Zubimendi who will come on instead. Just to sit in midfield alongside Rodri now, as Spain look to keep the ball for the last 2 minutes or so. It's just remarkable how Lamine Yamal has made an impact on a tournament. Oh, it's an early ball down the left-hand side by Cucurella, and Oyarzabal will come across to collective for Spain. He's onside as well. Corner of the box for Merino, backwards to Ruiz. Little back heel roll to Rodri. Rodri into the centre circle. Here's Zubimendi. Now Nacho to Zubimendi. Laid off. Vivian. Backwards to Simon. Snatches the ball out of his feet and floats it out to the left-hand side for Cucurella. Koundé wins it well. Tries it the early ball towards Mbappe on the edge of the box. Stooping was Vivian. Oyarzabal can't hold on to it. Koundé with the throw. Tossed into Upamecano on the halfway line, wide on the right. Time really running out now for France. It's Saliba in possession in the centre circle. Slides it to his left to find Theo Hernandez. Down the touchline for Bradley Barcola. Tries to stand it up towards the back post. Griezmann goes up, header is over the bar. Was there a deflection off Cucurella on the way through? Griezmann thinks so. Didier Deschamps thinks so. The referees don't agree. Cucurella did just enough to keep Antoine Griezmann off balance. By my clock, we've reached the 5-minute mark in extra time. Can there be one last chance for France? It's a long one downfield from Unai Simon. Merino wins it in front of Koundé. Koundé wrestling with Mikel Merino. Free kick will be Spain. Slavko Vincic looks at his watch. The Spanish bench are up and ready to come charging on to celebrate. They think it's done. It's not. Still time left to play. alongside Ruiz. Spain against the shins of Mikel Oyarzabal, but there's no time for France to take the throw-in because the referee's blown the final whistle. Spain are through to a 5th European Championship final. Another generation, a new generation